Coco Gauff is taking her career in a new direction, leaving Roger Federer's Team 8 and joining up with entertainment moguls WME. And she has launched Coco Gauff Enterprises.
The biggest power move in Coco Gauff's career is the establishment of her own management firm, Coco Gauff Enterprises. But not everyone, including Aryna Sabalenka, is thrilled about it. Let's just assume that the Belarusian celebrity didn't hold back when the news surfaced. I want to ask you a question. Was Sabalenka's reaction motivated by jealousy or by genuine annoyance? At last, it has taken place. Coco Gauff, a tennis enthusiast, has officially joined the club of players who are tired of letting others run their brands. After quitting Roger Federer's Team 8, she is currently running her own company. It's bold, unexpected, and clearly driving Aryna Sabalenka crazy. Before we talk about Sabalenka's reaction, let's set the situation. Coco Gauff made an unexpected statement. One simple article devoid of press leaks or hints. An incredible new era has dawned. As I grow as a business owner, athlete, and change agent, I want to assume greater responsibility for my career. In essence, a 21-year-old is saying, I am now in charge.
Actually, everyone around me was like on board with it because like I know I could handle it. I think it was more just like on the mental side, like being there a lot of times, like mentally being on the site all the time can be like tiring. But, no, they were really encouraging because they knew it was something I wanted to do, and I was like, I mean, I'm young now, but I know eventually, I'm not going to be able to be playing doubles and singles and all of that. So I was like, I'm going to take advantage of it.
Particularly when it comes from someone who is not just dominating on the court, but also making her own business decisions. Players find that kind of confidence irritating. To put it mildly, Aryna Sabalenka did not exactly respond with congratulations. Player circles claim that Sabalenka was visibly agitated when questioned about Gauff's new project during practice at the Cincinnati Open. She rolled her eyes, shrugged, and muttered something along the lines of, "Good for her, I guess. Everyone wants to be a CEO these days." Oh no. Sabalenka has been tense since Gauff started making headlines both on and off the court. And that one comment perfectly captures it. Do you remember the French Open incident, the loss, her tantrum following the match, and her statement that Gauff wasn't doing well? Indeed, that did not last over time. Let's go back a few months. In addition to winning titles, Coco is building an empire. Sabalenka is still trying to convince people that she didn't mean what she said after that loss.
Making unforced errors. Like, I don't know, I have to check the statistics. I think she won the match not because she played incredible, just because I made all of those mistakes from, like, if you look from the outside, kind of like from an easy.
It's hard to ignore the controversy surrounding this announcement. Gauff's choice to launch her own management company at the age of 21 signifies a dramatic shift in power. She is now in charge of her brand, her transactions, and her future. Most athletes don't get that until they're retired, if at all. Despite being one of the top players in the world at the age of 26, Sabalenka's contracts and image management are still managed by others. You can definitely imagine how that would feel. This is the point at which things start to heat up. People close to Sabalenka claim that she has been grumbling in private that Coco is getting too much attention for business decisions instead of tennis. This is funny because Coco wants to reconsider what it means to be an athlete.
Yeah, so the extension with me kind of started in the whole campaign with the doubters. It obviously started with my speech at US Open where I mentioned, allowing doubters to fuel me to do better. And I kind of realized that a lot of things that are told to small business owners are also things that are told to athletes and me specifically, whereas like I've heard a lot that I'm too young, or that I should just focus on tennis, or you shouldn't do multiple things at once.
For her, success is measured by more than just winning accolades. It has to deal with legacy management. And Sabalenka is going crazy because of that. For someone whose reputation has been built on pure enthusiasm and athletic ability, seeing a younger competition become both a champion and a wealthy tycoon may be difficult. Everyone acts like Coco invented independence, Sabalenka allegedly raged at her squad following practice. An insider claims that everybody makes their own decisions. Indeed, Aryna. Let's be honest though, Choosing a sponsor and launching your own agency from scratch are somewhat different. Coco, there was a recent revision to the golf rules. This goes much beyond tennis drama because of this. This has to do with the way sports culture is changing. Athletes today are more than just athletes. They are well-known individuals with real influence, businesses, and brands. Coco's motion is part of that progression. But not that long ago, Aryna was the one making headlines, winning Grand Slams, making bold statements, and showing emotion while playing. So Sabalenka feels like she is losing control of the spotlight. Her admirers were discussing her. It's hard to accept that Coco Gauff is in every headline these days, especially when the analogies start to surface. At the age of 21, Coco has already established her own company, gained a global fan base, and won a Grand Slam. Despite her age and experience, Sabalenka still seems to be reacting rather than initiating. Fans, the media, and most likely Sabalenka all pay attention. During Coco's most recent interview, a reporter casually asked how she felt about her new venture. She said, "I'm focused on my own career," with the polite, tight smile that athletes give when they're attempting to control their emotions. "I'm not here to start a company, I want to be successful." That seems like a jab, doesn't it? It would be the same as saying, "Good luck running your business while I collect trophies." However, in reality, they are both succeeding in separate ways. Coco is adopting a long-term strategy. She understands that holding onto a racket won't last forever. Instead of waiting till retirement, she is creating something today. Because of this, she is intelligent. Meanwhile, Sabalenka is in combat mode. She wants the power, respect, and attention she feels she deserves. She has earned a substantial sum of money, to be fair. The problem, though, is that Coco Gauff's story is currently more captivating. She is youthful, intelligent in business, relatable, and articulate. Basically anything that draws sponsors. And that's what's upsetting Aryna. The impact of Coco Gauff has eclipsed several players. She is reportedly everywhere, according to WTA sources. Social causes, commercials, interviews, and now business events. However, the remaining ones are still forced to answer the same old questions about rankings and training programs. As a result, it's simple to believe Sabalenka when she claims to be tired of hearing Coco's name. However, this is where irony arises. The more Sabalenka complains, the larger Coco's shadow becomes. Every costly comment turns into a fresh headline. Gauff is made fun of by Sabalenka. Sabalenka finds Coco's fame annoying. Sabalenka reacts to Coco's business venture. In reality, she is endorsing the narrative that she finds repugnant. That is the reason it is so lovely. Coco doesn't even have to respond. She just smiles, says something inspiring, and continues expanding her empire command because Sabalenka is unable to match her. The story is under Coco's control. Sabalenka just reacts to it, which is what distinguishes icons in modern sports. It becomes funny at this point. Coco Gauff never once mentioned Aryna Sabalenka. Never once, not in interviews, postings, faint shadows, or anything else. However, Sabalenka is acting as if she has just been subjected to a personal assault. Coco's silence appears to speak louder than words, and it's clear that Aryna is more troubled by it than anything else. Coco's deeds speak louder than words. She doesn't need to say it to be ahead. She only gives an example of it. To be true, some admirers think that Sabalenka's displeasure extends beyond jealousy. They perceive it as pressure. She has been making an effort to portray herself as a forceful, fiery, and passionate major character in the WTA. But now, the focus is entirely different. It wears you out that people only talk about how she reacts to Coco Gauff instead of her powerful serves. Imagine spending your entire career pursuing recognition for your abilities, only to have a Coco question at every press conference. The attitude is nearly prehensible. But here's the problem. Sabalenka keeps making things worse for her. Every disparaging comment, every moment of apathy. As a result, she seems more insecure. Meanwhile, Coco is out here signing contracts and accumulating wins. She is working more intelligently rather than louder. Are you aware whether anyone else saw that? The sponsors. Because employers value competent, calm, and self-assured individuals. That's Coco Aryna. She is the total opposite. Erratic, passionate, and prone to saying unpleasant things. That's great for headlines, but not in boardrooms. As a result, Gauff founded her agency, a company that genuinely oversees brand connections. What the other members of the tour thought about that is just speculative. It is not just a symbol of accomplishment but also a reminder of who is in command. Players like Jean reportedly congratulated Gauff one-on-one and said it was inspiring to see her take up leadership at such a young age. Who didn't? Indeed, Sabalenka. Not a single word of support from the general public. And that silence told it all for tennis enthusiasts. Because there is a cold battle of perception and public relations going on behind the scenes, despite the fact that these participants may grin for the cameras. Every action revolves around the image. Every post is calculated. Every quotation has the ability to alter the top person's standing and reputation. Furthermore, Coco Gauff currently enjoys an exceptional reputation. Recall that instead of letting it control her, this 15-year-old player became the youngest qualifier. The rarity of Coco's power drives Sabalenka nuts as Aryna thrives in chaos while Coco lives in calm. Sabalenka's feelings inspire her, but they also draw attention to her shortcomings. She blows up when something goes wrong. She calculates Coco. She is currently using the same mindset off the court. Think about this. While Sabalenka is trying to establish herself to reporters, Coco is actually attending talks regarding her business. It's not a contest. In a completely different context, that is dominance. What stops other players from running their own agencies if Coco Gauff can? You can be certain that the WTA was notified. Why rely on corporate management when you can hire your own employees and have total financial control? Coco is building that for the future. And Sabalenka and others are terrified of that because there is more than just tennis involved. Power is at risk. In golf, that is. Sabalenka wants it. They take a very different approach to achieving it though. Both on and off the court, Sabalenka has a powerful stroke. She is fiery, impetuous, and passionate. Coco is thorough, patient, and organized. Point one burns rapidly, while the other grows slowly. And in the end, that's what distinguishes lasting legacy from transient fame. Coco's viewpoint extends beyond accolades. She is thinking about ownership, business, influence, and the kind of power that celebrities like Serena and LeBron utilize to build their empires. She doesn't want to wait for her career to end in order to become a mogul. She is only getting started.